This is a day in the life of Alex Scade. A painter and decorator by trade, he became an artist and developed a sanctuary in a remote part of West Cork. Up to the year 2020, Alex lived off the grid. No electricity, no running water, no transport and no phone. But this was no problem for a man of humble beginnings.
I was born in a cave in Glasgow.
A cave?
A cave, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the Glasgow slums, the worst of the slums, yeah. It was in the bottom flat, and below us was old coal mines, waterlogged coal mines. So the water, just three of us in a single end, you know.
Yes.
Like 3, 4, 5 years in a single end, my parents. It wasn't, see when I think back on it, you know.
Yeah.
And yet we were happy as kids.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I wasn't, because I had really bad chest pain, I had asthma and stuff, you know, so it was really bad. And
yeah.
But across from where I lived, like 100 metres away from that cave, was a wonderland. Like, because it was like a kind of, you know, you went across the road, climbed over a fence, down an embankment, across a railway, and there was these carriages that were full of fish. Fish coming from Aberdeen and going to get made into fertiliser, whatever it was. And, so there was thousands of seagulls and all kinds of things, foxes, and yeah, it was right in the middle of the slum.
Yes.
And just across the road there. So that's where this came from. This place came from there. That's where it started. Because I used to go from there into there, and I'd be on my own. I was the only one that done it out of all the kids who were in the place. And I'm talking about 5-year-olds, you know.
Yeah.
Because at that time, all the kids were looked after by the street. So I travelled. I left. I got my trade in Glasgow. Where my art comes from. My trade. I was a painter and decorator.
Yes.
So I left and I travelled. I travelled for a long time, for about 20 years.
What sort of places did you go to?
I went to places where I could make money, because I never had any money. So I'd go to like Sydney, stay there for a wee while, and I'd make a lot of money, and I'd go to San Francisco and stay there for a wee while.
So you were painting and decorating?
Yeah, I'd make some money, and then I'd go on a big adventure. And then when I was getting skint again, I'd come back. And
yes.
So I left there and I came here, and within a very short time, it was during the boom of 2001, and so there was a lot of work.
Yeah. And
within a short time, you know, I ended up staying here, like, you know,
And how did you find this particular plot?
I was here for 5 years. It was 2001, in 2005 I bought my land, and like I realised I stopped drinking and smoking. So that's how I managed to do this. I stopped drinking and smoking, and I got a credit union loan.
Yeah.
So when I'd set that up, I started looking, and I asked the local farmer, and we went in and talked, and he sold me this. He sold me these 2 acres. You know.
Did you always have this love of animals?
Yeah. From that time in Glasgow, really? That's where I got it.
Yeah,
I can look back now and see that where this, because I was just memorised by it. Like,
yes,
you know.
yes.
I don't know. I've always loved nature.
Yeah.
I've always loved nature, and that was. I'm sure that was hit. You know, in the Glasgow slums, finding it there. Point the camera in there when you're passing.
I will. Is that Billy?
Yeah.
Hi, Billy.
So we can go down and see the owl.
Can you tell us about the rocket again? I think
rocket,
because I kind of missed that. Yeah.
Well, we go into the rocket, and there's 2 chairs in it, and it's an old ship's wheel, and we take drugs. Yes, we take drugs.
You don't.
And we kind of go away up into the sky. That's why it's called a rocket.
Yeah.
So that's where we take the drugs in there.
You're a shaman, are you?
A shaman, yeah, shaman. Yeah. But no, it's for the water, you know. So the waterworks are there.
The well, yeah.
And,
it's a lovely construction.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's old. Yeah.
And I love the taps at the top.
Yeah. That's for ventilation, you know.
Of course.
And,
Would you consider yourself a spiritual type of man?
no, more nature, like
Yeah.
more nature.
Yeah,
You know.
okay.
So yeah, you could say nature's spiritual, a very
Yeah.
spiritual being. So
Yeah. So when you bought the land here, were you still working and painting and decorating, you know, as well as looking after animals, or was there a time where you said, right, that's it, I've got this land, I'm going to turn it into a sanctuary?
yeah.
wildlife.
I was doing a wee bit, but I had a pension. I got my pension. So I was spending about €100 a week on alcohol and tobacco and, you know, cannabis.
Which is a lot of money in that time.
It was cannabis, and
Yeah.
I was spending even over that, like, you know. So when I stopped doing that, like, this place cost me €50 a week.
Yeah.
That's how much it cost to pay the loan back with the credit union.
Yeah.
So when I stopped drinking and smoking, I got this place plus an extra.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
You know what I mean? An extra bit of money. So it was really amazing. You
Yeah.
know, to think that, and that's what kind of kept me off it, really. You know, because if I'd started again, smoking and stuff again, I wouldn't have this. It'd be gone, and I knew it. I knew it'd be gone. You know, because I wouldn't be able to afford to pay for it.
I was anxious to see some of Alex's sculptural work, as much as a tour of the animals, and how he even gets the time for his art. Well, this is a piece you're working on, is it?
This is what I'm working on now. I'll just put it there to dry, but I might put it in there. Having sunny weather's great, you know, because it's great for this, doing this.
Yeah,
Days,
for drying it out.
drying everything out quick.
This is Alex's studio, which also doubles up as a place for his fridge and freezer to store food for his animals. So tell me what you're working on there. Is this all part of a series?
Yeah, I'm going to make, there's, we're having an exhibition. It's going to be a square white room, and these boards will be right down the walls, like, they'll all be kind of vertical, and there'll be a lining the walls. And the person who's doing it, Amber, she's really good. She does really fine detail, you know. She does birds, that's what she does, you know. But we're going to do this together. So these will represent the darkness. You know, there'll be a lot of colour underneath them, but the surface of them's all dark. So it's like if you get your energy, you know, if you go to work and you've got your €5 and you go into the pub and buy a pint of beer, it's gone. You know, so your energy for your work is gone. Yes. But if you're here, if you take your €5 and you've got a bit of land and you buy a tree and you plant the tree, every year your energy isn't gone. Every year it keeps increasing. The tree keeps getting bigger. It brings the birds, it brings shelter and food as well if you've got a fruit tree. So it's like, so if you've got a place and you're putting all your energy into it, your energy doesn't dissipate. And it's just, I'm just so grateful that I live here in Ireland, because there's a lot of places you wouldn't be able to do this. You know, and even if you could do it, you need to be quite rich, like, you know. But I didn't have any money, you know. And, like, I'm just so grateful that I live here, that you can do things like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's just such an amazing place. Hello.
Hi Alex, Marvin, how are you?
Oh, good, thanks. Are you there with the birds?
I'll be over there in about 10-15 minutes, are you at home?
Yeah. Will I come down? I'll come down to the gate.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'm just leaving Castletown now.
Right, okay, see you soon.
See you in a minute. Oh,
That's a bird coming. So that's Kylock Berra. That's Kylock Berra. She's I had her an exhibition there, and she's not really set up right. But so that's Kylock Berra would be a pre-Christian saint, and then she was a pre-Christian saint, and then when the man God came, when Christian came, then she became a hag, the Hag of Berra. So she's known as the Hag of Berra. But prior to that, she was one of the main revered saints in the world, in our world. Prior to that, like people revered her, like, you know, and So like we are bringing her back. I see, you know, Greta Thunberg.
Yes.
Yep.
Hey baby,
Ah,
hey
sweet.
baby.
It's hungry.
So, see, this is part of this. This is part of this. This is part of it. And that's Greta Thunberg. And I see her as the living embodiment of Kyloch Berra because of the power that she's got. And she's a protector of nature. You know, when you think it, like, was she 14 or something like that, she stood up and, you know, gave them all a telling off, like, you know, all these people, all these, you know.
Tell me about this little bird here.
The bird, yeah, she's only a young bird. She was found, somebody found her in Bantry. And they couldn't find the nest or where she came from, so they brought her to me, and I'll raise her now. I'll raise her now.
So you've always peace, but I imagine you've always something to do. There's always, you know,
Yeah.
a new...
Yeah, I feed everybody twice a day. So in the morning I feed things, and then in the evening I feed things. So that's the main thing that I need to do, is keep all that together, because a lot of it's frozen food, you know. So I've got a wee system for where I get up and I take food out of the freezer, and so it's like I've got a wee system going. So it's all easy, you know. I'll go and get this other bird. Do you want to come down?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, if that's okay with you.
You come in this thing.
This is one of a pair of emus that were rescued by Alex at a market where their fate was probably for the dinner plate.
Yes, yeah.
He's just, there's strength in his right leg,
Yeah,
but on his left leg there's no movement.
right.
But he's
Okay.
fine when you sit him up, but when you...
Okay.
Oh, it's just this side, yeah. There he is.
Come on.
He still have the goat as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Billy, isn't it?
Yeah, William.
William. Hey, buddy.
You know, I released an owl last year.
Yeah, tell me what you think is wrong with him, Alex.
Well, see this leg here.
See
this leg here.
Yep.
There's something the matter with it. But he can still use it. He's stretching it.
Yes.
And I don't know about his feet. So something's happened to him. Yeah, that's better. I can move a bit there. Get on there.
Can you tell us about that painting there?
Yeah, I got it in the post. It came rolled up in a big thing. And it's off that picture. That was Olive, yeah, that picture. So, see, this was a photograph.
Yep.
Brendan took it, a friend of mine. Brendan took it.
Yeah.
And somebody saw it on the internet. And I think that's
They did a drawing then of it, or a painting. Yeah.
It's
very good.
A thing after internet, yeah. But I got this thing with a mad letter on it. This incredibly, it was like really funny letter for somebody in a castle, and it was their secretary, and it was her name. She signed it, Pandora Umbridge, buxom secretary to Mr. Still. It was Mr. Still who did the painting.
Yeah.
I need to show you this letter. I'll see if I can find it.
Sure.
That's the funniest letter. And somebody just saw it, and somebody with a good sense of humour, you know. I just saw it, and I've got it somewhere, but I don't know.
Don't worry.
Never mind.
Don't worry.
Never mind. It's very good. It's very amusing.
But yeah, it was really funny. Yeah. And I had Olive for 3 years, and she just vanished one day.
What sort of bird is Olive?
She was a rail. She's a water bird, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Everything you see is all done in the last 20. All the
Oh, is
trees
it?
and that, yeah.
All right, okay. All right.
So the place is like, in 20 years, the place has become a haven for nature. There's hundreds of birds here.
Yeah.
Like I counted 25 turtle doves
Yeah.
on the wire this morning.
Really?
25. And there's loads, like 100, probably hundreds, 200 sparrows and
Yes.
all the other wee birds. Because I feed everybody, you know.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And does anyone help out in terms of, you know, feed and stuff like that?
Yeah, I get there was two. There's McCarthy's Bar and Loop de Loop. Loop de Loop is really big. It's been big for a long time. They collect money. They sell second-hand books, and that money goes to the vet for this place.
Ah, brilliant.
You know, so it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And then Mac's Bar, McCarthy's Bar. Adrian was raised a bit of money for me for these cages here that you see.
Yes. Yes.
She
We
raised a
would
bit
see
of
those
money
down
on
in a
Mac's Bar,
minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and people give me money, you know.
Yeah.
People give me money in the street, and people send me money. And
How often would you spend working on your art as against looking after the animals and the birds?
well, it'd be day to day. You know, I'd be doing in and out, doing different things.
Yeah.
Day, you know, so
So would you have a long day? Do you get up early?
I get up at 9 and I'll feed everybody, and then I go back to bed again
Do you?
and read the paper and have my coffee.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I might get up at 10:30 or something.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So this is Sky. This is that Sky. Sky's only got one wing because she was hit by a car, and the people picked her up and they kept her for 3 weeks without taking her to a vet, and her wing was badly broken. And then they brought her to me, and wait a minute. And then they brought her to me. And we tried to save the wing, but it was impossible because it was rotten. You know, it had gangrene.
Yeah,
So,
oh no.
So we had to take the wing off.
So she's lucky she's alive.
Yeah. So she'd actually died when she was being operated on.
Did she?
She died on the table, and I thought, and the vet was great because they kept going. You know, Dennis, he kept, you know, I said to me, she's dead, she stopped breathing, and they said, well, just keep going, you know. And he kept at her, like, kept stitching her and stuff like that. And then she suddenly jumped up and came back to life again, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a buzzard, yeah. Come on. Come on. That's why all sort of things can climb up, you know.
Yeah.
Things that don't have their total
nets.
capabilities,
Yes.
you know. Hey baby. So I've released these guys, the two snow owls, I've released them. And they fly around when they have chicks. This is their aviary, and I'm going to take away the back wall so they'll be free, you know.
Yes.
They'll be able to come and go as they please and feed their chicks, and I'll feed them.
And who do you have in there?
Oh, we'll go in.
Oh, yeah.
That's I put the ducks because I've got a lot of things outside, and then they come back, and I put them in at night time. You know, they're going at night time.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Otherwise they're allowed to wander around.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
they come back at night.
Yeah.
It's great because they're all waiting at the door, you know.
Yes.
I just open the door and they go in.
You have them well trained.
So they're all trained, yeah.
And how do you get around?
Well, I go.
Because you don't have a car.
No, I've got like people give me lifts. Like Gert, he's a good friend, and he's a big supporter as well because he'll bring me into town and get me food and bring me back again and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I used to hitchhike. Prior to the pandemic, I hitchhiked everywhere. I used to hitchhike all the time, and a lot of people knew me, so I'd get a lift straight away.
Straight away, yes.
It's just like having a car, really.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And then the pandemic came, and so I stopped hitchhiking then, and Gert started taking me into town and that. So we just kept that up, like, you know.
Yeah.
I gave him a wee bit of money for petrol, whatever. But,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's, you know, it's good.
And when did you get your mobile phone?
A mobile phone. That was somebody bought me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody bought me that. I got electricity I got electricity about 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years
Has it
ago.
made a big difference to your life?
Yeah, well, building and stuff like that, you know, it's made things easier, and
Yes.
but and having the freezer,
Yeah.
and a Hoover, they make a bit of difference. But other than that,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's a downside to it, and that is that you lose the peace of the place with electricity. No.
So you can hear the electricity, can you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, loads of people used to come into our house and say it's really peaceful in here. A lot of people, but electricity takes that away when you're plugging fridges and freezers and washing machines and all that, and you know, it
There
takes
is
it
this
away.
constant noise.
There's a constant
yeah.
buzz, yeah.
Yeah, so
So we go down and see the bar
see
now.
the bar.
I see you have a greenhouse there with figs.
Yeah, it's a polytunnel.
Yeah.
They grow. There'll be a lot of stuff going in it shortly, like you know, it's quite empty now, but there's some salad and stuff. But yeah, we grow food, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to grow your own greens.
So what's that building there, Alex?
Well, that's my toilet.
Oh, right.
That's a toilet. It's a compost toilet.
Yeah.
Right, so we're sleeping there. Be annoyed that we've woke her up.
Does it have a calming effect when you whistle like that?
Well, no, that she knows it's me.
Ah, okay.
Because
Yeah.
every time I feed when they're young, I feed them, I make a noise, and that's their sound to me.
All right.
You know, so that like if I wanted her, if she was flying around and I wanted her, I could call out, like, and if she was really hungry, she would come to me, like, you know.
Yeah. Beautiful bird. Lovely markings, haven't they?
Yeah. She's born here. Every year I release 2 or 3 young barn owls every year.
Yes.
So they come down here, you know, I'll hand raise them, and then when they're in here, they learn to hunt in here, you know. There's little mice and stuff coming out of here. And then I take them up to the house and put them. It's pretty successful. We have a lot of success. Here, baby. Here, baby. You know, they come back every night and they get something, and in between times they're catching things, you know, and so they've got a good start, you know.
Exactly.
But there's never, I mean, a heron could come and kill them, like, you know. The herons are they've got so many things that could happen to them, you know.
Yes.
Cars on the road and stuff like that. But you know, I'm sure some of them survive to have chicks, their own chicks, you know. That's a great environment in there.
Isn't it? Yeah, lovely.
Like that weed there, there's a weed there, nobody likes it, but I love it. It grows up, and it's like a rainforest in there in the summer.
Covers it right over.
It covers and it leaves a beautiful shade in there, you know. And when you go inside it, you can really feel enclosed, you know. It's like you're in some big forest somewhere, jungle somewhere.
Have you achieved your ambitions, or is there something that you would really like to do in the future? Are you completely content the way you are?
Yeah, no, there's one burning issue in my life
Okay.
which I would like to resolve or else get started, and that's the throat cutting of cattle when they're still fully conscious.
Yes.
If you believe something, if somebody tells you something and you believe it, then your mind is full of that. Like prior to that, it's clear.
Yeah.
There's nothing there, so you can see. But if you start, you know, if your mind, and our minds are full of, like modern human beings, our minds are full of lies. It's all bullshit, like all the way we live and everything, like, you know, it's all, you know, that like the killing the animals is a good, because we don't even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
we don't even think about it, like, you know, what
A lot
we're
of
doing.
people
like,
don't want to think about it.
yeah, we don't even think. Like in this world that we live in, everything kills everything else. That's the world that we live in. You know, that's it. It's right. So in effect, there's nothing the matter with eating meat. Like, you know, it's like it's what everything does. You know, and we're just the same as everything else.
Yes.
And but the way we do it, you know, keeping birds in cages, in tiny wee cages all their lives, like, you know.
Yeah.
And what's happening in these, you know, to animals now, like factory animal, like pigs and the way things are killed and that, it's just, you know, it's just we're way out of order, you know.
Yeah. But obviously the animals in your cages are sick animals, aren't they?
Yeah, all them, they're invalids, like, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And also, like, if something isn't an invalid, I release it. And if it's an invalid, if it can't go, you know, if it's got one wing or, you know, one leg or something.
Well, it could be prey to some other animal if they're not secured.
Yeah.
While they're sick.
But but I mean, they've got a life, you know. They can be. They're not stuck in tiny wee cages. Like, they've got a life, you know. And I spend a lot of time with them. With these guys, I go in there and spend time with them. And so they've got, you know, and I can see that they're not really. They're doing all the things that they need to do.
I know. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's extraordinary, isn't it? Yeah.
Lovely.
I made a new friend.
Oh.
Hello.
You said that you developed your interest in art when you were a painter and decorator. That was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And so where did that lead you from that point? What did your curiosity take you?
Well, I was interested in. It took me into special effects.
Oh.
You know, like, you know, I was really interested in turning a blank wall into a cliff, that kind of thing. You know, like where you can create effects that are really realistic. You know, I like doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So whenever I retired, whenever I get too old to go up ladders, you know, to spend all day up ladders, I started doing boards, you know, and I'd plaster them, put skim coat plaster, and then colour it, like, you know, and make sculptures as well.
Yes.
You know, I like to make sculptures like with natural materials.
We finished the day by visiting Amber Broughton's gallery in Castletown, Bear, where Alex is holding an exhibition.
Designated for that, and I have a couple of exhibitions coming up with just different artists that kind of, I think, will work well together, and me and Alex have been working since the start of it, so yeah.
Amber has a deep appreciation and understanding of Alex's work.
They're the very things that are causing the suffering that you're asking help for, you know. So that's why it's so really heavy to get a big nail stuck in their hand, like.
Amber's studio is located in a beautiful area between Bear Island and the mainland, and it is also the location of one of Alex's works of art.
Kyloch Bear is associated with cattle, you know. She's a kind of, she's a great protector of nature, you know. And her head is a cow skull. Is the back of a cow skull. And the body is bog oak. And so she would have been revered prior to the man God. She would have been revered like a god, like, you know, and a protector, you know. Amber helped me to put it there. And of course, she's facing a big cross. Where is it? This is such a great place.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, I bet.
See if you can get a whale skeleton. You can get a whale skeleton.
And prop it up on like metal.
Well, see that thing there, that board there?
Yeah.
You could put a big pile of whale bones on top of that.
You could.
And it would just be fabulous. Just leave them and let them go white.
You'll have to
you know what I mean?
Help me arrange them.
You know, you could, yeah, but just a big pile, just all piled up with a skull.
Yeah.
You know, set somewhere. It'd be fabulous. You know. So I'll make a platform there and just put it on it, you know, so it was in the sky.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
I don't know how it would hold up with the storm, but
yeah.
I like the way you're thinking. I could hang it inside the hut from, like, in order.
Yeah.
So you could walk in and it would be floating.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, this is how we brainstorm.
Yeah. Yeah. I know where there is a whole whale.
Yeah.
In a cave in Dunboy.
Oh yeah.
I've not seen it, but I know of it. I know because somebody told me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all bones now. You know,
Yeah.
it's been in there for a long, long time. It would take a bit of engineering to get it out, but you could do it, I think.
Yeah. We could have a look anyway.
Yeah.
Nice start.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be great fun getting in anyway. Seeing it, finding it. Okay, so.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming. It was
Yeah,
great to
yeah,
have
I'll
you.
see you when I see you. And that's
Yeah.
great. It was great to see everyone again.
I'll call over soon.
Yeah, and come here because I've got some boards. I've got some good boards. So
Yeah.
worth seeing, you know.
Yeah.
And we can talk more about it.
Cool.
Right.
Sounds good.
Alex is one of those unique people who defy the normality and conventions of everyday life, and because of that he can devote all his energies into his love of art and animals without hindrance or compromise. His beloved Cailleach Bera is an ancient Irish mythological being. Although most often presented as a mysteriously veiled ancient woman, the Cailleach also is said to take on the guise of many different birds and beasts, especially owls, as she travels the rugged landscape of her